Hey, what's up everybody? JayborinoPlays here. I'm playing some Legacy of the Confederation, a custom campaign for Starcraft 1. We're heading to Chapter 5. The end of the last chapter was pretty tough, pretty interesting, the way that we had to get those nuclear bombs next to the Cerebrit and then also escape. Also challenging because the game just crashed. It just crashed, so I had to do some editing. I hate editing. Here we go.
Fleet Admiral Hayes, sir. As you know, we've had observers near Ground Zero for the last several hours. I just received their first update. I'm not exactly sure how to tell you this, sir.
Just spit it out, man.
Sir, there's movement in the crater. The Roach Queen is not dead. She's regenerating. Whatever she lost in the heat blast is growing back. One of the UPL analysts that saw the observer's video tracks said it reminded him of reincarnation. I'm not exactly sure what credence to lend to that. However, sir, we do have every biological expert around the world working on how this is even possible. But for now, all we know is the Roach Queen is very much alive, and the swarms are moving forward all over the world. New York, Moscow, Tokyo, Beijing, Paris. They're moving into posture to attack every major city on the globe.
Then we have no choice. Order our conventional forces to intercept the roaches. Send everything we have, Marder. Shock troops, local police, atmospheric defense forces, accountants. I don't care. If they are employed by the UPL, I want them suited up and on the front lines. Admiral, you're paying attention, aren't you? I'm sending you to lead the defense of our capital in Geneva. This is your last line. There is no retreat, no regrouping. You lose it here, the roaches have a free run into all of Switzerland and the rest of the surrounding nations. You understand me, Admiral? This is it. Now we've got almost 50,000 troops parked here, half of the continent's air force and every local law enforcement official between Geneva and Portugal. Hold the line. Show the roaches we won't back down. Ever. Good luck, Admiral. The fight only gets harder.
So, an interesting point, he's talking about holding Geneva. I mean, one, because it's our capital, that seems important, right? But also, oh, well, if they get into Switzerland, they'll get into the rest of Europe, which I don't understand, because Switzerland, I believe, is landlocked. So, it's not like there's water that the roaches can't go through. Couldn't they just easily circumvent this heavily fortified area that we have set up? I don't know. Though I can assume that the Zerg/roaches do want to take Geneva because it is indeed our capital, sounds like. Let's get going. Alrighty, black screen.
United Powers League Armed Forces, Geneva police officers, and all others standing ready. We and other armies like us are all that stand between these monsters and total subjugation of the human race. I know we are outnumbered, but we will prevail, if not in form, in spirit, and unity of resolve. This day, humanity wins through.
Alrighty. Still black screen. And, oh, there we go. Huge defense mission we're looking at here. So, I have actually played this mission. The ending was incredibly confusing to me, and I had to quit out and verify with Remnazuo and also some forum goers over at Campaign Creations to see how this mission is supposed to end. Well, I'll explain it more as we get towards the end, but really, there's not much strategy to this mission. It's really more so just, it's like Mission 3. It's very atmospheric in that we're seeing really just the size of the battles that are taking place as the roaches are taking over Earth, which is really cool. I have decided I'm just going to straight up call them roaches. I'm going to try to call them by what the UPL thinks they are. So I think that this left side is what gets hit the hardest, so I'm probably going to want to start streaming units up in this direction. So what I'm going to do is probably this area right in here. We're going to stack units and defend this area. I'm also going to speed up the game because, again, it's a defense mission, so we don't have to really worry about that.
And I mean now, damn it, move it, move it, move it! This is Captain Radical in the Portuguese
So, I appreciate their use of sound effects. Like, I like the air raid siren going on right now, but at the same time, I couldn't hear what those people were saying at all. Just couldn't hear it. Alright, so let's move all these wraiths up to help defend up in this side, and the problem is, we've got all these fatty units back here. Well, a lot, right? But at the same time, all this crap that's just sort of back here, just standing in the streets, is blocking the way for any of those units. So it makes it very, very challenging for me to really get up there and help. So I did send up all my stuff. I'm going to rally all my units up and kind of outside of the city just to kind of get them out of the streets, and then we can use them to sort of flank. I've only played through this once, so I'm not really sure the correct way to play this. So I'm not, you know, I don't really know exactly what I'm doing. But it's more you just want to bottleneck them in these little areas right here. And also, starting from the front of the city, I want to grab everything that's in the streets and blocking stuff and move it towards the front. That's my goal, at least, because, again, it's blocking all this stuff that otherwise could get out. So this stuff right here, all this kind of stuff, it's just blocking all my crap. It's very, very annoying to deal with. So it looks like Yellow Zerg attacks me from down here. They may break through this, but up here is really, I would say, the biggest issue. Wraiths, I don't think Wraiths need to be up there. Let's try to get those back behind the city walls.
Reporting in.
Okay, and the mission objective is just protect Geneva with your life, which is funny because we're not really here, technically. We're just overseeing the battle, so when it says with your life, it doesn't really make any sense. But regardless, again, I'm going to keep moving all this stuff up so that we can leave the streets clear, and as the roaches push in, our units will be clumped up here, and they'll be able to push up and keep defending. But they just constantly are sending these behemoths, ultralisks, what have you, and Hydralisks. It's non-stop. They're already breaking through a lot of our barricades, so we have to move our units up here, and I really want to start, I got to keep getting these units out of the street. I'm just going to auto-attack my way up to help defend. They'll get up there eventually. The key is they're getting out of the way from where they currently are. So as you can see, like, this stuff is stuck. This tank is in the way, so it's, you know, getting everything else stuck. We've got to move all this up. I think the unit selection limit is really the hampering factor here. We're going to move up these tanks. Move these all up here, and let's just start getting all this stuff out from the back of the city and move it up. And at the same time, as it moves up and gets stuck, we have to find out where the bottleneck is and move it up. So once again, we're not really dealing with the sprite limits as much, because you have to keep in mind we have Marines, tanks, both sieged and unsieged, and these sentry drones, which do not have attack animations. I mean, excuse me, they don't have attack projectile animations. So what that means is, so like Marines, they shoot, but there's nothing going between them and the enemy. It's just you get these little bullet animations on the enemy, so that doesn't count as a sprite, so we don't have to really worry about that as much. Yes, all right, the dragons are trying to fly in, but we've got all this stuff just sort of scattered throughout the city because we've mobilized pretty much all available things. All right, so like these guys are in the way, this stuff is in the way, needs to move. We need to get this stuff out of here. So again, I'm just going to keep trying to move as much as I can over to that left side. This side down here I really think could defend itself. I think the yellow forces probably could have been beefed up a little more, but honestly, I don't think it matters that much. So we got a lot of stuff over here. I'm just going to keep attacking with as much stuff as I can to get over to the front where the roaches are mostly breaking through. They're going to slowly push their way across this whole barricade. So I don't know. There's got to be a hidden timer on this. I don't know what triggers the end of this mission. I really have no idea. But there is like an end event, and that's where I kind of got stuck. I mean, I didn't get stuck. It's just confusing. Again, you'll see as we get there. It's just we'll see what happens. I'll even show you. I have like four different saves. I have 3 different saves for this map already because there was just like I was trying all these different things and it just wasn't working out for me. So let's just keep grabbing all this stuff that's in the street, move it down here to engage these orange forces. You guys don't move outside of the city. Let's just stack Marines up on the high ground here as much as we can. I also want to point out that these siege tanks are separate units. They are not MR21 Langston assault tanks. They are artillery. They only do 15 damage, so I think it's more the range and the splash damage is what makes them so appealing. All right, we got some units up here. This is going okay. So we're going to leave these here. We can always send them out of the city to flank the Hydralisks from the other side. Right here, we've got a nice stack of units, so I feel pretty comfortable with that. You guys just hold position up here. We really want to stop them, stop them from moving in the city and getting up these ramps, because if we have to shoot uphill at them, like we are right here, that's going to cause a problem. Okay, so let's, again, let's just keep trying to get as many of these units out of the streets in the middle and back of the city as we can, so that when it's time to get even more units out of the very back of the city, we can actually get them out. So like all this stuff is in the way. We just want to move all of this up to the front as much as possible, so we can just stack units at the front so we can last as long as possible. Because you know what? Even if this is more a cinematic, atmospheric mission, I say...
The UPL, we will not win this war. I know this now. Therefore I have no choice but to prove the enemy myself. Do not fear the light.
Fleet Admiral Hayes, sir. This is not the way. If you do this, we will not win. I guarantee you that. Don't do this.
Time for talking is over, Marta. Soon all of the enemy will be erased. Yes, it must be done. The missiles are flying.
Hayes has lost control. He's insane. He's moved UPL's nuclear strategic rocket forces to DEFCON 1. In less than 13 minutes, thermonuclear ICBMs will impact on every major city the UPL is defending. Hayes is hoping to wipe out all of the roaches in one strike. He feels that the best time to hit them is now, while the enemy is converged together on our major industrial centers. But from what I know of these roach things, there are already 2 more eggs laid for each of them attacking. We can't let Hayes' plan go through. If it does, we'll have nothing to defend our planet. Those monsters will have free reign over everything. Due to the loss of 90% of our satellite tracking grid during the orbital engagement, missiles require some form of land-based radar guidance to ensure they hit their targets. It's my guess Hayes has erected some sort of small command post just outside of each city for this purpose. To the city commanders, it's your task to take the troops you have, find Hayes' control center and capture it. Be sure to leave the comsat stations intact. Do not destroy them. Once the control center is captured, I'll help you transmit destruct codes to the missiles. Route whatever you can around the roaches, but find Hayes' camp before impact. T-minus 10 minutes.
This is happening much earlier than I
We sit here
expected.
killing roaches till those nukes take us out. Guess we lost, boys and girls. That Hayes bastard me. Damn sure of that.
Fleet Admiral Hayes has constructed a communications outpost outside of Geneva. You need to locate the nukes en route to Geneva so that they can be disarmed. Okay, so we have to send all... We get a bunch of units back here, first of all. Like, way more. Getting these outside of the city is going to be a problem in itself. This is happening way earlier than when it happened when I played the first time. Because the roaches had pushed much further in. I'm not really sure what's going on here. But what we have to do is basically get outside of the city, which is impossible because these barricades are in the way and there's roaches right here. But there's a blue base down here, and it's got a reasonable size amount of stuff, and we just got to get everything down there. So I'm going to start flying units down here, and we're going to see what we can do. So basically, you get there, and Hayes has a little base with some reasonable defense. It takes the full timer to push through there for sure. And I was real excited. I pushed in. There's 2 command centers with comset stations, and the comset stations have fucking 1 health. So I'm like, fuck, you gotta be real careful that you don't kill those things, right? So I did that, and it took me like 45 minutes of load, reload to actually destroy the whole base without destroying the 1 hit point command centers, because if a single thing attacks them, oh, well, too bad. You've lost. So I'm still gonna try to do it this time, but I gotta get all my stuff outside the city. I'm just going to start right-clicking just to get out of there, because the roaches haven't spawned for some time, so we're just trying to move everything down here. We need to get a solid force outside the city, and then I can kind of show you what's going on down here. So, again, it took me a really long time, but I did finally get it worked out, and once maybe we can do it again, I can kind of go over what happened. But let's just move everybody down here, and I have a lot more forces than I did the first time I played this. Like I said, there were a lot more roaches when I played, and it was much later, it seemed like, into when I was playing. So as you can see, I'm only getting a select few things out of the city because there's so many of these goddamn things. So you guys all need to get out of here. Push your way out. Everything, just push your way out. If you can, I'm just trying to right-click them out of here because they're in the way, and then there'll still be enough units in the city to keep defending, as you can see. So all this stuff, just get out of the city. Just get out of the city. I don't care if the roaches get drawn down to my main force down here. They will get wiped out. And we're going to move as much stuff to the very bottom of the map as possible. All the way to the bottom of the map. Because another thing is the roaches will come down and just follow you down here. And you want to be consolidated, and you don't want to be pulling more and more of them. I don't know why all my stuff clumped up there. That was strange. Okay, look at that. There's still a lot of these behemoths / ultralisks, but we're getting some stuff out of the city. They are path blocking me. Slowly but surely. Here come even more. And so we've got a defense here, but there's no... I mean, we can't get out of the city. We are just totally stuck. I mean, maybe what I can do is destroy some of these barricades, but it takes me longer to destroy the barricades than it does to actually get out of the city. So, best I can do is just route around the roaches and just get a large enough force down here to actually push on Hayes' base. But they do have a battle cruiser, and it's really annoying to have to kill. 5 minutes. I could throw down a save, but you'll see why it really won't matter. Ultimately, I'm just trying to get a nice big force down here to really push in. I've got a decent amount of stuff, so let's start pushing. He is on the bottom left. I used a black sheep wall to try this too. It's such a pain in the ass. All right, so let's keep going. It looks like my forces keep getting pulled back and like respawned here. So I'm just trying to push as much stuff over into Hayes' base over here as possible.
Jesus Christ! Those roach things are fucking kicking our asses. These guys here are trying to kill us all. Shut up.
Fuck! I enjoy that. Fucking Hayes. I mean, that guy always sounded like a sociopath. He was always so calm and emotionless about everything that you knew that guy was just a weirdo. All right, so let's go. We have made it pretty much out of the city. We've got some units up here that are going to distract the roaches. Meanwhile, we're pushing in. So here we go. These comset stations have 1 fucking health, and you have like no time to finish this. So that's why from my initial perspective, this seemed sort of impossible. But from when I was playing, there weren't a lot of roaches, or the roaches had already pushed through this, so it was a lot easier for me to get out of the city. Okay, so let's come down here. All right, you guys back away. And so what I'm going to do is just destroy this whole base. It's going to happen. I think we can do it. But the key is, you cannot destroy... You can't destroy any of the comset stations, and they have 1 health. So if you look at the objectives, also Enya is playing, it's beautiful. Locate Fleet Admiral Hayes' communication outpost and capture it. It's not clear how you capture it. Also, Enya is very loud. I apologize. Be sure to leave the outpost comset stations intact and then await further instructions. So let's see if we can get away with actually doing this. Okay, so let's destroy this and everybody back up. I really am on track to do this. All right, move away with the tanks. You guys move away. Everybody move away. We're going to kill these units. Back away. We're going to kill the remaining roaches. Meanwhile, we're going to take a group of units, and we're going to kill these command centers. We have 2 minutes. I actually think on my first try here, my first/second try, we're going to destroy... No, don't go near the comset stations. We're actually going to do this. So move in, and just don't... Oh, they hit it!
Leave the defense grid. You have destroyed at least 1 of Hayes' radar comsat stations. Without that radar, we have no means to transmit the missile destruct code to those IVCMs coming toward Geneva. There's nothing to stop them now. UPL is dispatching emergency evacuation transports for the troops under your command. In all honesty, nothing is a in time.
So we have to sit here and wait for the timer to run out because fucking Fleet Admiral Hayes went fucking crazy on us. So, again, I loaded, reloaded so many times, and I did it. I destroyed every building, including the command centers, and managed to keep those 1 hit point comsat stations alive, and then nothing happened. The timer just slowly ran out. I tried so many things. I tried moving units all around them. I like reloaded the map and tried again because I thought maybe loading messed up the triggers. So I emailed Ramnazuo, and I went to campaign creations. I'm like, why can I not do this? And everyone's like, oh, by the way, you're supposed to lose. You're going to get a defeat. There's no victory trigger. And the next mission will load based on the defeat and not victory. So, again, we get to sit here and watch ourselves slowly lose. But it's a little annoying because, you know, maybe there should have been at least some sort of like, hey, you captured the comset stations. Oh, no, there was a failsafe and we can't stop the missiles. To make it clear to the player that you have to complete the objective, but you're still going to lose. I was actually really impressed with myself that I was able to destroy the command centers. And now everything's going to die. And again, this is supposed to happen. Everything blows up. I was convinced that I could beat it. Like, I knew this campaign was hard, so I'm like, if they want to give those comset stations 1 goddamn hit point, I'm going to do it, goddammit. And I reloaded over and over, and I did it. I pecked away at him. There was time left on the clock, and then I still couldn't win. I was so upset. But, yep, this is supposed to happen. And, you know, I finally realized, because they gave it 1 hit point, I think that's kind of a clear message that you're not supposed to be able to do it.
Missiles impacted on 90% of their targets. All Zerg warriors were killed by the blast and fallout, as well as 95% of the UPL defense force. 2 days following, Zerg eggs at hives across the globe hatched, allowing the roach's second attack wave to move across the Earth unchallenged. What remained of Earth's standing defenses was flattened.
I really don't think they could have gotten a more bland person to narrate the epilogue there. All right, well, yeah, I was furious. I hit the defeat, and then I went right back into the mission and kept trying, and after a while I realized, like, I could keep my original recording, and I could just edit the shit out of it, but it would take me a long time to do, and frankly, I mean, I said it at the beginning of this mission. I don't like editing too much. I edit a little bit, but if it's going to take me as long to edit something as it took to record it, no thank you. Anyway, we technically completed this mission. There is no victory set, so... I mean, it would have been cool if, in this playthrough that I'm recording now, I would have been able to keep those comsats alive just to show that it is possible. But let me tell you, it's possible. I did it. It was just a pain in the ass. Alrighty, well, this has been JayborinoPlays. Thanks so much for watching. When we come back, we will see what's going to continue on with this story. I am interested. I do want to keep playing this as blind as possible. This was the only mission where that didn't really work out for me. So I'm interested to see if most of the UPL is wiped out now, what's left. And I kind of don't understand this whole legacy of the Confederation. Like, what is the title? What is the Confederation? But either way, I like the idea that we've just been totally wiped out by the Zerg. So maybe the Protoss may get involved again, even though they completely abandoned us. We will see. I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye now.